Hey everyone, Adrienne here, Indiana Backyard Gardener, and this is our spring planting series. This is our, let's see, 4th week. The week of 3/26. Okay, so this is the week of March 26th. And don't be alarmed if this video doesn't come out like right in the beginning of the week, because everything has a planting window. Okay, so you have like a window of opportunity to get things planted. All right, so for this video, I'm gonna go over what you can start this week, what you can start indoors, what you can start outside under a double cover, and also what you can start outside under a single cover. All right, so I'm going to go over vegetables, flowers, herbs, and everything in between. So first of all, week of 3/26. Now I'm going according to my last frost date, which is in May. Okay, so if you are in the first half of May and your last frost date is in the first half of May, then this would be a video for you. If not, then I will give you some details on a link that is in the description of one of my videos that you can go to, and you can download a spreadsheet. It's a planting tool that you can put your own last frost date in, and you'll be able to have access to all of the planting tools that I have. So let's get started. All right, so the week of 3/26, indoors, you can start artichoke, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, dill, eggplant, lettuce, mizuna, mustard, oregano, peppers, radicchio, sage, Swiss chard, thyme, tomatillos, and tomatoes. Okay, so also in the week of 3/26, so the week of 3/26 puts me anywhere between 5 and 7 weeks before my last frost date. So the earliest it would be 5 weeks, and that's if I went according to the almanac, which gives me a last frost date of April 28th or 9th. And I usually go till at least a week after Mother's Day, because we for the past few years we've had a late frost. So anywhere between 5 and 7 weeks, 5 being the earliest and 7 being the latest. Okay, so if you've got 6 to 8 weeks, let's say 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost, you can start indoors amaranth, basil, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, chamomile, collards, fennel, ground cherries, kale, kohlrabi, lettuce, okra, potato, shiso, sorrel, Swiss chard, tomatillo, tomato, and watercress. Okay, so there's a couple on that list that I didn't have on my other list. All right, and then an indoor sowing guide for flowers and ornamentals. We're doing 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. All right, you can do alyssum. These are things that you can start indoors: alyssum, amaranth, ami, bachelor's button, calendula, cardinal climber, Chinese lantern, cosmos, scarlet flax, forget-me-nots, frosted explosion, which is a grass, honeywort, hyssop, marigold, moonflower, morning glory, orleia, sweet pea, and zinnia. Okay, so you can start all of those things indoors if you are 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. Okay, now outside, let's move outside. And if you have access to a double cover of protection, you can plant outside arugula, beets, bok choy, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, carrots, chives, collards, endive, kale, kohlrabi, leeks, lettuce, mash, mizuna, mustard and onion, oregano, parsley, peas, radicchio, radish, rutabaga, salsify, sorrel, spinach, Swiss chard, and turnip. Now, the idea of a double cover is so that you don't have to start a bunch of seed trays indoors under grow lights and having to babysit all these trays. And then not to mention you have to transplant all of these things out of seed trays when it's time. So if you'd like to avoid all of that, like I do, then I usually direct sow things outside when the time is right. So this would be an example of that. If you have access to a double layer of protection, then you can plant all these things directly outside, okay? Now, if you don't have a double layer of protection, but you do have a single layer of protection, then you can plant outside, or if you've already started things outside and they are under a double layer of protection. So if you've watched some previous videos and you have started things outside under a double layer of protection, then now's the time that you can remove one layer of protection and these things can grow under a single layer of protection. Okay, arugula, carrots, collards, claytonia, kale, kohlrabi, lettuce and leeks, mash, mizuna, mustard, onion, parsley, peas, and spinach. All of those things can go outside under a single layer of protection. Okay, now also outside, if you are at the 4 to 6 week mark before your last frost date, you can also start outside some baby greens, okay, broccoli rabe, cabbage, chamomile. Did I say chamomile already? I did not. Okay, cabbage, chamomile, chervil, endive, kohlrabi, mash, mustard, spinach. You can do the bulb onion, you can do the bunching onion, you can do shallots, parsley, peas, radish, rutabaga, and spinach. Not the New Zealand spinach, but the regular spinach. New Zealand spinach is a little bit for more warmer weather. So, and then outside for your flowers and ornamentals, you can also start, if you are at the 4 to 6 week mark, you can start bluebonnet, columbine, feverfew, flax, gaillardia, larkspur, lavender, lupin, pansy, poppy, snapdragon, sweet pea, and viola. Okay, so those are a couple of lists that I usually refer to when I am doing my planting and I'm creating my planting schedule. So if you are following along and you would like to know what can I plant this week, is there anything extra? Because like I said, everything has a window of opportunity to plant. So some things that are on this week's list might have been on last week's list, and they might be on next week's list because there's a window. But some things might start dropping off, and it's that window of opportunity to get those things started might be over, because according to the days of maturity, it'll be too hot by the time those things are ready to mature, and they won't get a chance to mature because they'll go to seed. Okay, so you can't wait too long to plant those cool weather crops because they will end up bolting and then you won't get a nice harvest. But like I said, if you follow along and you can plant accordingly, then you should be able to get a nice harvest. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope you guys are following along. I hope you're enjoying the spring planting series. If you have any questions, then shoot them down in the comments below. I love questions and comments. I'm happy to answer anything that you are asking or want to know. So other than that, I believe that's going to do it. So thanks for watching, guys. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share the video out. And till next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye, guys.